So in the last video we discussed what is biodiversity, what are the losses of biodiversity, or what are the causes which will or after the loss of biodiversity, what will be the causes made by the or changes that will the ecosystem or the environment will undergo. So now in this video we are going to discuss about the conservation of biodiversity. So first, before conserving the biodiversity, we should actually know the true reason for what we are conserving this biodiversity, or for what this biodiversity should be conserved. So actually there are many reasons to conserve biodiversity. Some of them are obvious and some of them are not, but we are very clear that each and every single reasons are very and equally important. So now this conserving biodiversity has been grouped into, so these reasons have been grouped into three categories. So if we group them into, the groups are narrowly utilitarian, broadly utilitarian and ethical. So first we will discuss about narrowly utilitarian. So here is nothing but the here when we take about the arguments which are made for the conserving biodiversity, actually it is an obvious one. It is not an obvious, it is not considered as not so obvious, but it is so obvious actually. So here we always know that whenever we take the word nature or environment, we the humans have a lot of benefits that we get it from nature, like food. We get a lot of products of medical importance, for construction material, for our shelter we get, for fiber, for firewood, in order to protect us from cold. Then industrial products like tannins, lubricants and the perfumes we use, the dyes which we use to color, resins, and the main important thing, food, that is cereals, pulses, fruits. So if a man or a human, if he needs to survive in the particular environment or in a particular ecosystem, his own rich biodiversity is very important for a human survival in that area. So when we discuss when we discuss about these plants, actually more than 25% of the drugs are actually taken from the from the plants itself. So we know how many drugs, in sense the medicines, out of 25%, out of that 25% are taken, that which we now which are currently sold in the market throughout the world, are taken from the plants. So even if we go on with English medicines, now if we deal with traditional medicines, that is the medicines which are used by the native people, out of all these species, 2500 species of plants are used as the traditional medicinal purposes. So actually we or no, the scientists, the ecologists, or the persons who search or research even don't know how many useful plants are there in the tropical forests that are yet to be explored. We don't know still how many medicinal plants are there, which are not. Actually we don't know how many are existing, but there are a number of useful plants in tropical rainforest waiting to be explored. So with increasing resources, it puts in bioprospecting. So bioprospecting is nothing but exploring the molecular and genetic species and species level diversity. So the products of so these shows the products of economic importance. So when a nation is endowed with a rich biodiversity, we can understand that automatically it can lead out to enormous benefits. So it will have, this nation will have its own benefit, and it can lead to its own benefits. So there are so this narrowly utilitarian explains the what is given to us by the nature and what are left out without being explored, and what will be the result if a nation has a rich biodiversity. So now broadly utilitarian. So here we know that this biodiversity. So here when the broadly utilitarian argument so says that this for many ecosystem services the biodiversity plays a major role. So in the ecosystem diversity or services that nature provides, biodiversity is playing a major role. So the fast dwindling, that is the which is affected or which is exploited by some of the reasons, we already learned that Amazonian rainforest is the lungs of the planet. So why we call it as lungs of the planet? Because totally 20% of the total Earth's atmosphere's oxygen is given by this forest through the process of photosynthesis. So the plants there gives out through oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. So and also so we may think that can we put out an economic value for this service that is given out by the nature? That is sure, and we cannot do that also. So if you wanted to check out the 20% of oxygen, how much it is going to cost, we can go to a nearby hospital and ask them how many or how much you spend on a oxygen cylinder of oxygen for the patients that is used. So by that we can estimate an amount for the Amazon forest. So the another great important process is pollination. That is this is the process without which we cannot plants give food, fruits or seeds. So this pollination is taken out by naturally by the nature, which are having pollinators like bees, bumblebees, birds and bats. Without this we cannot give them we cannot get food, fruits or seeds or something to eat. So but we may also think what will be the cost for accomplishing this process by these natural pollinators. So and the most important thing is this is an intangible benefit that cannot be given artificially. That is the aesthetic pleasure when we walk through the woods, when we waking up to a bulbul song in the morning, watching the spring flowers in the full moon. So these in a full bloom. So these all are the actual pleasures which we cannot even put out a price tag. So the next is ethical. So when we think that when a human actually we know we are living in this world and we are sharing it with the plants, animals and micro species. So this conserving biodiversity is also very important for them with whom we are sharing this environment or this ecosystem, or with whom we are sharing this planet. So philosophically or spiritually, so at either of these cases we have to know that every species which is sustaining in this world has an intrinsic value, even if it is of current value or it is of no value, economic value to it. Whether it is important to us or whether it is not important to us, it is not a matter, but we all have a moral duty to care for the well-being, and we have to give out our future generation a biological legacy in good order for the future generation, for the upcoming generation of our world. So these all are the reasons for why should we conserve biodiversity. So in the next video we'll deal with how to conserve this biodiversity and what are the two major things that are used to conserve biodiversity. Thank you.